Okay, on February 6, 2025, approximately 8:12 a.m., call came in reference a female covered in blood lying in the front yard on Woodland Road in Lovetown. Approximately 8:33, Cottonwood Rescue arrived at the scene, transported the victim to Southeast Health under trauma alert. At the time, moments later, about 8:55, a suspect was possibly developed, Latarius Malik Dale was being sought as a possible suspect in this case. The suspect was involved in a single vehicle accident located at Cowarts Road approximately around 1 a.m. and transported to Southeast Health. Investigators interviewed several witnesses and obtained several search warrants, and substantial evidence was collected at the crime scene of the victim's residence as well as the crime scene at the traffic accident. It's believed that the male made a forced entry through the rear back door of the residence, where at that time the victim was lying in bed watching TV when the suspect entered the bedroom with a claw hammer and began striking the subject multiple times in the facial and back of the head area and the chest area. As I said, the victim was struck multiple times with the claw hammer. The victim lost consciousness at that point, and at one point, we're not sure of the exact times later, she regained consciousness and made it to the neighbor's yard on Woodland Road, where she was discovered approximately 8:12 a.m., unconscious at that point, and she was transported by Cottonwood Rescue. Approximately 6 p.m., investigators collected enough evidence to charge Latarius Malik Dale, 30 years of age, of Cowarts, Alabama, with domestic violence first, burglary first. On February 7th, the subject was released from the Southeast Alabama Health and taken to the Houston County Jail. At this time, he was charged under an act, Alabama Act 2921-267, Title 15-13-2, also referred to as Anaya's Law. Anaya's Law limits the right to bail for certain crimes. Prosecutors can file for a pretrial hearing, which asks the judge to hold the defendant without bail. It gives the judge more authority to deny bail in these type cases. The crimes covered in Anaya's Law is murder, kidnapping first, domestic violence first, rape first, and human trafficking first degree. Like I said, at this time, the suspect is in the Houston County Jail with no bond.
And there's no, you said, so it's suspected he kind of walked in just playing as a burglary?
From what we gathered, they're I guess, commonly married and maybe in the process of divorce. I'm not sure on that yet. He made entry through the back door. It appears to look like it may have been pride. Made his way into the house and confronted her in the bedroom.
So was anything stolen from the victim as well?
Does what now?
Was anything stolen from the victim as well?
No, not that we know of at this time.
Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify. So he came in through the back. Do they have any connection, the two of them, or do you think
They were husband and wife. They have kids. I guess they were separated at the time. I'm not sure their process of where they're at in their marriage as far as divorce or separation. He was staying in Cowarts and she was living in Lovetown.
Sheriff Lonza, 3 years ago, Dale was charged with the domestic violence in another case, but it was dismissed. Are you able to tell us if that victim is the same person as this case?
For what I understand, possibly yes. There was a charge brought, and I don't know all the facts in it, why it was dismissed, but I believe that's correct.
You said that the suspect, Dale, got in a single vehicle accident. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Was he under any influences or anything like that?
At this time, we don't know. We'll have to get subpoenas to get the medical records to find out that type of information. What our belief is when he fled the scene, I'm sure he was at a high rate of speed, at least according to the crash site, and where he lost control and crashed at that location. And information was he got out and then got back in the car, and at that point, our deputies arrived, but had no idea what just previously happened because we didn't find out till yesterday morning when neighbors woke up and found her in the front yard. And the call came in when I got one of the calls said that there's a white female laying in the yard covered in blood. I'm not sure if she's dead or alive. And that's when the other call came and Cottonwood Rescue responded.
Now, do you have, kind of time frame about, around what time the suspect tried to go over?
According to statements we got right now, it's close to around midnight uh, when she was watching TV. And sometime around probably midnight, 12:30, somewhere up in there, it appears to us that he went through the back door and gained entrance to the house because she felt like the best she could remember at the time it was around midnight.
Now, I know you mentioned, the neighbors being called, they said something along the lines of, we don't know if she's dead or alive. Was the victim breathing when emergency services arrived?
I wasn't there. I'm sure she is breathing. She was rendered unconscious at the time. As I said, she lost consciousness at the house from being beat multiple. I'm telling you, she was beat multiple times in the head with the claw hammer. And when she regained consciousness, she had enough to make it across the street to a neighbor and collapsed in the front yard. At what time that was exactly, I'm not sure. I know when the neighbors woke up, they noticed her in the front yard. Off and on, she was able to talk. It was very, very difficult to understand.
Do we know, anywhere in the investigation whether to determine whether or not the kids were in the home at the time of this?
Kids were not in the home at the time. Okay? All right. I appreciate it.